Welcome to the Operators Only podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Walton. I'm glad to be with you guys today. This is episode 3. We got a lot to get into today. I'm glad y'all here today. We're going to get right to it. Like I said, we're starting a virtual book called The Education of an Operator. So we're going to start there. And we're going to start at we left off at chapter 7. So we're on chapter 8. And we're going to talk about your first accident. Mass transit wise, I didn't get into my first accident, whether it was preventable or non-preventable, till 8 years in the game. One thing you got to learn is, like a football player who's a cornerback, if you get beat by a wide receiver, you got to acknowledge it, process it, and flush it out. Do not let it linger on, because when you let it linger on, that's when another accident happens, and unless the first accident was catastrophic or super serious, then you still have a job. So don't let that one accident linger. Accidents happen. They're called accidents for a reason. I was in the dumps for about 12 to 14 hours when I first had my first one. It's just a make or break thing. I mean, it just happens. Everybody gets it sooner or later. It comes to them, whether it's your first year or the 8th year like me. Anytime, it's going to happen. Your best thing to do is to acknowledge it and just move on and just try to do better. But if you let it linger on in your brain, and the next time you get on a bus that it's there, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue, and that causes you to lose focus. You don't want to lose focus out here. It's a lot going on outside of you, around you, that you have to stay focused. Like, you have to stay focused, especially in mass transit or even on local transit these days. It's just too much going around for you to linger on about it. You have a job for a reason. You're fit to do the job. Things happen. Move on. Point blank, period. Chapter 9. DOT physicals are not for the weak-hearted. This is what I was talking about, health and wellness. I didn't really dig deep into it as much yet. We'll get to that later, but you got to take care of yourself. Don't let yourself go. You may run into some new money like I did. My pay jumped high when I finally went in transit. So you're accustomed to different things. Growing up in my lifestyle, you got Popeyes when your mother, your father had a payday, and you got that for Friday night or Saturday night as a good luck, as a good time meal. But this transit money, you can get Popeyes every day, and that's just on a small scale. Cause that's one thing we used to do, get Popeyes on like a good day. And it come out of nowhere, and next thing you know, somebody shows up with a Popeyes bag, and like, oh, it's going down. As a kid, that's everything. A Popeyes bag come through the hood and come to the crib, and you and your family members eating, and you having a good night. Maybe watching some showing my age a little bit, but TGIF with the Family Matters and things like that. That's what it brings me back to. And now you can get that every day with no lunch special thing. So you have to watch it, because it accumulates like that. You don't think about it, but it just day after day after day, because now your mind is on beast mode, that you're going to go to work, do your job, go home, do your work, do your job, go home. So the money will be there. Throw some salads in there, space out your meals, and get some exercise in the middle, because when I'm at DOT physicals, and it's not just me, it's a whole list of us, and I've seen it bring grown men to their knees, literally, grown men to their knees. I've seen a grown man cry several times from being held off of work, medically ineligible, and you praying it's not you. For multiple reasons. I won't get into the deep reasons, but don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Take care of yourself, take care of your bodies, take care of your family, take care of your close ones. But the DOT physicals are real, and they don't care who you are. When you walk through that door, you're an operator. You got to do all the checks that they require. So just know that. Just know. Keeping yourself in a decent condition, if not top tip condition, is best. But you got to have some kind of good condition about yourself, because they will mark you off the list, like in an ineligible way. So be careful of that. Chapter 10. Don't take things personal that are verbal from customers. This is a tough one, because one thing you gotta understand is that bus operators are like the punching bag for the riding public. They come with all types of issues, problems, dilemmas, and they just throw it on you. Willingly or unwillingly, they just throw it on you. So with that being said, if it's not physical, just let it go. These people have a lot of more problems than probably you have. And not saying you don't have any problems and you don't deserve respect, but we are public servants at the end of the day. We signed to be public servants. Let it go. They're going to say a lot of crazy things. But when they get off that bus, they back in the tough situation they are. That's one thing I learned, that some of the stuff they say and do, it has nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. They just want somebody to vent to, because nobody else wants to hear what they say. Especially with homeless people or people who don't get acknowledged by the public, who, if they ask a question, they walk away from. They're going to walk up to you as a bus operator, because they're looking for that respect, because they know that you stand for something other than yourself. I won't say bigger than yourself, but you standing for something other than yourself in that uniform. So they feel safe, they feel confident, they feel comfortable coming up and talking to you giving them some feedback. So that happens a lot. You'll see a person and you'll probably look at them like, man, nobody's paying no attention to them. But they'll come to you and talk to you because they're looking for somebody to talk to. So they might go a whole 10 to 12 hours and be talking to somebody and not hearing nothing back. So just imagine yourself in a bad situation and you're on the streets, like on the streets, literally, 24 hours a day. Somebody might drop off some food. You might hit a food drive for a plate of food, but you try to talk to somebody and everybody ignores you. I can't imagine how that feels. I honestly can't. And I'm not the most friendly guy, I'll be honest, but I just can't imagine. But I have humility to a point where I can imagine that you can go a whole 24 hours and you can speak to somebody, say whatever you want to them, and nobody responds to you. It's like you're invisible. So just have a heart. Be contrite, sympathetic. It goes away soon enough. Definitely. But on another note, I talked about the hot bus with no AC last episode. I want to get into it deeper, another level of that, and that's called the Stinky-Smelly bus blues. The Stinky-Smelly bus blues. One thing about me before, pre-pandemic, I always wipe my bus down with Lysol wipes, sprayed it down with Lysol, maybe a little bit of air freshener. In the driver's cabin and the public cabin, we smelling good, we good to go. But maybe a smelly person, maybe a homeless person like we just talked about got on your bus and now it's funked up. But not only that, maybe some people who smell with the aroma of marijuana, which I call it the new weed. It smells completely different than back in the day. So it's just weird. It funks the bus up immediately. So it's like all the hard work went away. And now you're just stuck with this bus. So as soon as everybody get off, you're back spraying around. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because all you want is a clean, good smelling bus to operate while you're there for 8 hours or 2 or 3, 4, whatever it may be. But there's a lot of variables in between that. And before I dig deeper in that, I just want to talk about us. Let's put the onus on us. Bus driver seat cabin etiquette. I don't know why every other time, it's sunflower seeds, gum wrappers, candy wrappers. I mean, it's very trifling. It's like you're one of them in a sense that they dirty up the bus, of course. They don't care, but like, you got to care for your fellow man, your fellow woman, your fellow coworker. And I just feel like, man, what's the audacity to leave a bus like that with pistachio shells? I mean, it's just, sometimes it's very outlandish. I don't get why you do it, how you do it, but don't invite me to your dinner or Thanksgiving or anything like that, because I am not coming. It really boggles my mind how our own people dirty our own clean spaces that we use for safe havens and to operate to work. I couldn't dare leave a place like that, a space like that. As soon as I get off a bus, if I have a relief or anything, I'm cleaning up the bottles. I'm taking bottles out the trash cans. I want that person's space to be as clean as possible. But somehow, some way, lines get blurred, and I guess that's how the friction starts with operators, because now operators are pinpointing who the dirty ones or the dirty habit ones are, and it's just a problem. Clean up your space. Clean up the driver's seat area. Clean up the driver's cabin. This is not hard. We get paid good money to work. Just clean it up. But please don't invite me to your house. I'm not coming. Not at all. Oh, to the next one. The cell phone dilemma while on the clock. Majority of bus transit companies have a zero tolerance policy for the transit bus. But every now and then, another company doesn't. They have other policies that say they have to be out the seat and stuff like that. But when it's hot outside like it is now in the summer, man, you be dying. You really be dying out there. Or if it's super cold outside in the winter, you're wondering like, wow, I wish I was on that bus nice and warm. It's a tough situation. It's a tough dilemma. I want to know what y'all feel about that and how y'all go about it. Sometimes people go into the metro stations, they're going to a building, things like that. If you smoke, you got to stand out in the cold. I've been there, done that, doing that, all of that. So it's very, very difficult. But some companies have it good. Some companies have it good. And if you are one of those companies, blessings upon you. Salute. But I'm not one of them. So I'll leave it at that. Another thing is making the most out of your vacation days. Everybody needs a rest day when they're at home. But working with transit, make sure you get out. Make sure you get out and do what you have to do as far as enjoying life and enjoying yourself, enjoying your family, enjoying your close friends. Because this job going to be here regardless. It is. So it's okay to take a couple of vacation days to stay home and kick it. But make sure you're traveling. I know it's kind of hard due to COVID right now, but get out there. Get out there and see life. It's a lot of cities in the United States you can see. You don't have to go out the country if you want. If you want to go out the country, I got places you can go. So don't worry. Don't worry. Get out there and see life. See life. Because, like I said, we only get one of these. So don't drive yourself into the ground. Because if something happens to you and you leave with 30 vacation days on the books. Your family not getting that. I highly doubt that. It'll find a way. So use that. Use that. Use it. It's for you first. So use it with them. And if they do get it, they're using it without you. So make sure you're using your vacation. Go some places. If you haven't tried New Orleans, I wouldn't try that right now with the hurricane situation, but Mardi Gras, whenever everything open up, is great. Vegas, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Fort Lauderdale, Charlotte, Vegas, Los Angeles. I can rip off so many. I've been so many places in the United States that I'm blessed to be in the position I am to get away when I can get away. So definitely look into maximizing your vacation and going to see other places. And now on another topic, I want to talk about something relaxed, calm, cool, and chill. Feel free to comment, DM me, message me, call me, talk to me face to face. I just want to know what songs have been in your head as of lately while you're operating the bus. We all have a song or songs in our head while we're driving, make time go by. You're still focused doing your job, but some songs be in your head. I'll run through a couple. I like the Justin Bieber Peaches song, I think with Daniel Caesar and Giveon. I like that song a lot. So the Peaches song be in my head a lot. Hers Comfortable is definitely in my head a lot. And one song I use for motivation. Yeah, like let me know what songs you use for motivation. Every day before I go to work, I'm driving to work, I listen to Meek Mill's Check. It really gets you motivated. It's a really motivational song. So if you need some motivation anytime you go to work, whether you listen to rap or not, it's a song called by Meek Mill, Check. It'll get you amped up. So check that out. I want to know what songs are in your head, because when you're driving, something taking your mind off all the ruckus and craziness going out there. But my go-to song every time I come to work is either Meek Mill's Check or Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares intro. Everybody knows about the intro, so check that out too. It's called Dreams and Nightmares. It's not called intro, but it's called Dreams and Nightmares. It's probably the best rap intro in the last maybe it's longer than that, about 10 years. So check that out. Let me know what songs are in your head while you're rolling. Those are like the 3 to 4 that are in my head, the 2 motivational, the 2 that I'm riding with right now. But on another note, I want to talk about heartbreak on a bus while at work. Some of the worst news is going to come while you're at work. Whether a school counselor or principal's calling you about your children, the significant others breaking up with you, or they hit you with the text saying, I seen it's funny how ... and then there's paragraphs of text messages ready for you. When you're on the bus, you're going to realize that most of your life will be spent in the transit company. You live there. So for instance, I drive sometimes in DC, so more times than I'm in Virginia. So I feel like I live in DC. Like, you adopt that style. You eat with them, you're laying over with them, you're talking with them, you adopt their style. You definitely do. If you're in a tougher area driving, maybe for a better schedule or run, or you might be from that area, but if you're not from the area, you just adapt. You have to adapt or have a keen understanding of what you're dealing with. I will say that. So you learn to go with the flow and the who's who and things of that nature. But I've been broken up people. I've heard the best news, the worst news, but the heartbreak, it sucks because now you're stuck on a bus. And when you're stuck on a bus with some bad news, there's kids in trouble and you got to go talk to them, and they make, you know, you have to follow all that stuff out to have this mental focus of being a bus operator. And that's the part I want to talk about. Like, we go through so much on the bus. We sign up for it. I'm not complaining, but it's like when you're there, and it's like nothing you can do. There's only so many times you can get excused from work to go take care of an issue, and I know some people, plenty of people who I don't know, who have been or received bad news on the bus, like myself. It's just something that you have to get used to, that more than likely the bad news is going to come on a bus besides you being at home relaxed. It just doesn't work that way. But that goes back to the mental focus it takes to be in a bus operator successfully for years on end. I'm not talking about just bus operators for 1 or 2 years. I'm talking about long down the road, putting skin in the game and getting vested, things like that. You're going to find out a lot of bad news on the bus than you would anywhere else. You definitely will. I want to give a quick shout out to all the extra board operators. You are the backbone to each garage, each company. I know a lot of times people think like you guys are the money chasers. More than likely, you just don't like the same run each day and see the same people, and I get that. But without you, just like we just talking about, you having these bad days on the bus, you have an emergency, it's people like you who fill in for us, or when people on vacation or they sick. You guys really make the garages. So any transit company who has an extra boards, I think everyone does, salute to you guys. And I'll go a step further because I know some people watch this podcast who are not bus operators or in the bus transportation business. Extra board are fill-ins type of people. They're on standby, but they get runs each day of what's the open work. So they're workers of the open work. That's the best way I can put it. So if you got 5 operators on vacation, 5 sick, they need 10 operators to fill that. And they do. Or it's a piece here, a piece there. They'll piece it together and they'll work the whole thing. And some make a lot of money. Some make decent money. Not getting into that, but they save us. If you need a vacation day or things like that, they're going to be the ones who pick up the slack and make sure you can get off. So salute to all extra board operators, day board, night board, vacation board, whatever board it is. You guys are appreciated. Definitely appreciated. My first couple episodes on the Bus Operators Only podcast is just like so. And I felt like I was being maybe too preachy. I'm not for sure of just giving directions of things, how things go. I just want to talk about some stories because I know a podcast is all about stories. So let's go with that. And I was thinking about this today, and I was like, we got to make this more familiar, more comfortable, more relatable. So I want to talk about a wild story that I had. I was having a bad day. You ever went to work with a bad day? You just know everything's gonna go bad. It was like afternoon. There's this guy who gets on my bus. I think he's like mid-40s, late 30s, probably mid-40s. He has the oil belt, whole oil belt on. I mean, suited and booted. I'm thinking he about to get money. He didn't sell one oil. He going up and down the whole line the whole day. And as I take him down to the end of my route, I'm thinking he's going to get off, but I think he nods off and falls asleep, right? So he has a cup in his hand, a big cup. And next thing I know, I turn the corner, not even sharply, just smoothly. He just leans over and falls up, but he has the cup. He has the cup in the air as he falls. So I heard do. So I'm like, pop the brake. Are you good? I'm great. You okay? I'm great. That's all he keeps saying. I'm great. But the cup is in the air like this the whole time. The cup didn't spill. You the smartest guys from Houston. They ain't spilling no cups down there. So I said, hold on, man. Let me call it in, man. He jets off the bus. Jets. Cup still in hand. Everything's still intact. Oil's everywhere. Um, so I'm like, man, whatever. Um, then I go to the end of the line. I pick up this couple. They're mid-40s. They're a lit couple. Lit meaning a fun, jubilant, exciting, entertaining, spicy couple. They're like mid-40s black couple. And they get on. They get all the way to the back. They greet me. How you doing, bus operator? Both of them did. The woman and the man. They showed mad love. And then as we going up the route, they get to arguing for a little bit, bickering, battering here and there. I mean, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just listening. A little quick eye back. And then next thing you know, 2 minutes later, they loving each other. They hugged up, kissing, things like that. So they're talking, laughing, looking at their phones. I don't know what they're looking at, but yeah, they're doing that. And then it's like 20 minutes later. They call. They about to get off the bus. The man is so gracious and respectful. Like, thank you so much, bus operator. I appreciate it. Just continue to have a great day. And I was having a bad day. I mean, this is one of those days. Like, whatever. He said the way he just presented himself. Like, man, I really thank you for doing your job, and I appreciate you. And they paid. Everything was good. And the lady gets off and says, "Bye, bus operator. Have a great day. See you next time." And she's about to step out the back door, but she stays in the middle. And then she says, "You the coolest mother bus driver I ever seen on this side of the river. I swear, have a good weekend." I mean, she said I was the coolest bus driver she ever seen on this side of the river. She swear. I'm here to tell you, that made me feel like I was Andre the Giant. I mean, that was like, that's what I needed to hear. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of being a bus operator sometimes. It's like you meet these people and you shed off on them and they feel you. And that's the part I love. Like, I needed to hear that at that time. Not by my significant other, not by my child, but some random person just saying, you know what? And you're the coolest bus driver I ever seen on this side of the Potomac. Like, and whether it was true or not, I just felt that because I could feel her saying it like she was with that. Like, oh, man. I mean, those type of moments I live for. And that's like a wild story because like up and down and up. And the one good story was, before we get out of here, is this happened like a year or so ago with the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, who we all know is a basketball legend. Like the city was like deep down because there's a lot of Kobe Laker fans in the DMV, and the city was hurt. But there's always a hustle to be made. So they had Kobe shirts, selling them, socks, hats, things like that. But it was a somber time. I remember I was on my last trip. And this guy gets on the bus and says, "I don't have change for a 50. Can I get a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And he shows me the 50. I mean, what can I do? I'm not going to, He rides. He comes back like 2 minutes later. It was like, I have these Kobe shirts. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. And I'm like, "You want one?" I'm like, "How much?" He said, "For you, they free. You ain't give me no stress." And the flip side of that, like, one of my good friends is a diehard Kobe Bryant fan. Diehard. He was hurt. When he passed, like, he's really a devout Kobe Bryant fan since we were youngins. And for him, that man, to give me that shirt for free, and it was a great print. Like, it was one of the best street Kobe shirts I've seen ever. And that's why I was shocked. Like, "You want to give it to me for free?" He said, "You're on the stress, man. You didn't give me no stress, so you can have it." And I gave it to my friend, man. I know it made him feel a lot better. And that's the thing I'm talking about. it's good in people out here, and you're gonna come across a lot of faces and friends and a lot of people when you're out here in these streets. But everybody's not bad. Everybody has a story. But me giving that Kobe shirt to my friend, I know he was happy. I was happy with just the transaction and how the man just gave me one off the strength, and he said they was flying off the shelves like hotcakes. It's respect out here. You just gotta know how to treat people. It's all in how you keep it. Keep it how you keep it, and you'll be fine out here. Don't feel like you're no bigger than, no better than, and you'll be fine. You'll have once in every blue moon a rare occasion situation, but you do what you're supposed to do. Operate the bus. They'll respect you. They'll respect you. So just be mindful of that. There's still good people out here. I know it's tough sometimes if you're in a tough area operating the bus. You may feel like it's not. I get it, but it is. But that's gonna be all for this episode. But I appreciate y'all listening and all of that. I'm gonna give y'all more stories. I think y'all need to be more related to. I think this podcast will take off more when I start bringing in guests other than myself who operate a bus, so they can express their self and their stories. But we're gonna stick with it. It's all good. But my name is Bryan Walton, and just find me somewhere broken at Broken Studios. Find me somewhere broken. Until the next time, peace.